somewhere over around Brackerwoods Elementary, where I went to school and served on a different kind of safety patrol than the one I'm on now. In the pavement there, in the concrete, there are some footprints of a little boy. And he was placed there by the Limon family, which was involved in concrete construction at that time. My family ties to the Limonists go back that far. And we are fortunate that from that family, we now have a county chair who's concerned about bringing us together and keeping us focused on all that we can accomplish. Great success this last year and many hopes for a very successful 2020. I'm pleased to present our county chair, Dyana Limon-Mercado. Dyana? Thank you. Well, let's get a picture here. Thank you.
Thank you. Y'all are going to make me cry, and we're just getting started. I never used to cry before I had kids, and now I cry for everything. I want to thank you again, Congressman Doggett. Can we get another round of applause for the only Democratic congressman from Travis County? Well, welcome to the Johnson-Benson-Richards Dinner. Thank y'all so much for joining us to celebrate our community's legacy of strong Democratic leadership. For this evening, I was planning to give a State of the Party speech, but I'm just going to skip the 80-minute presentation and go straight to the end. The state of the Travis County Democratic Party is strong. In the last election, with the support of our generous donors, we raised more than $560,000. And for the fundraisers and the candidates in the room, that was hard, packed dollars, and they really are hard to come by. But we did a great job, and I appreciate everybody's support, whether you gave $3 or $500 or $1,000. Every single dollar you gave went into direct voter contact. As Jehmu said, we knocked out of the park every single goal we set for ourselves. We contacted 242,000 voters. We reached 94% voter registration. We reached 62% voter turnout, and we delivered 74% Democratic performance at the top of the ticket. We flipped HD 47 for Vicki Goodwin. Yeah. We flipped Austin City Council District 8 for Paige Ellis. And now our state delegations and our Austin City Council are represented by fully Democratic members. Yes. And we picked up 4 seats for the 3rd Court of Appeals. Yeah. Those districts, you have no idea how big those districts are. Those districts cover 24 counties from east of Bastrop to west of San Angelo. And Travis County alone delivered 60% of the vote to elect our justices. And I want to thank so much our new 3rd Court of Appeals justices, Thomas Baker, Shari Kelly, Edward Smith, and Gisela Triana. And we enthusiastically welcomed new members to our local delegation, Representatives Cheryl Cole and Councilmember Natasha Harper-Madison. Though the race for U.S. Senate fell short of our goals, we still had a lot to celebrate statewide. In 2016, many people thought that Hillary's performance was a high watermark for Texas Democrats. But then in 2018, we delivered 168,000 more votes for the top of the ticket for Bethel over Hillary's previous record. And my favorite part about that is that Travis County alone netted 50,000 more votes for Democrats. Our local Democrats who ran at the top of the ticket, Joy Chevalier, Miguel Salzo, and Justin Nelson, they delivered some of the best numbers Democrats have seen in almost 2 decades. And when people ask me, why should I invest in Travis County? Y'all are already blue. Isn't everybody a Democrat there? I said, because turning Texas blue means we got to squeeze a little more juice out of this blueberry every single time. And frankly, I'm not going to stop until we're at 100% voter turnout, so. Now we're focusing on 2020, and we're identifying the key precincts where we can net more Democratic votes for our congressional candidates, our U.S. Senate race, and to flip the Travis County Commissioner's Precinct 3 seat. We're not waiting until next year to get started. Everything we raise today will go towards starting our voter contact efforts now to build long-term relationships with voters that need to hear from us early, not just in October and November of next year. With your support, our party had a great year in 2018, but you ain't seen nothing yet, I promise. With national energy and leadership from Speaker Pelosi and Texas Democratic Party Chairman Gilberto Hinojosa, our stellar candidates representing diverse voices, I know Democrats are poised to make history again in 2020. Together with you, our state party, our elected officials, our candidates, our clubs, our precinct chairs, our volunteers, our activists, I'm confident that big wins are within reach if we do it together. Thank you so much for your support in 2018 and today as we build for the race for 2020. And with that, I'm going to turn the mic over to someone who believes in our party and our plan as much as I do. Our party's most generous supporter and the bulldog of the Senate Committee on Nominations, Senator Kirk Watson.
I like that. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Well, isn't it a great night to be in Austin, Texas? And a great night to be a Travis County Democrat. I want to say thank you to Dyana. I hope you listen to all of those numbers because our party is very strong because we have such great leadership. And it's my real pleasure to get to be here tonight, not only with Dyana, but also to be with Aimee. And of course, we've got Nancy Pelosi in the house. Isn't that great? Well, it's my great pleasure to get to introduce the Kirk Watson Service Award. I must admit, I'm very touched by this tradition of the Travis County Democratic Party to recognize a public servant for their outstanding public service. And when I was first asked to do this a few years ago, I thought we ought to model it after a person who meant a lot to me and still means a lot to me, but who was a lifetime public servant, and that was my father. Although the public service that he provided was primarily the service working day to day at a federal agency and providing service to the public, I always thought that the way I would like to honor someone with this award is someone who's not in elective office, may not have ever run for elective office, but constantly and consistently is someone who serves the people. And this year, I get to do that by recognizing Larry Wallce of Central Health. As you all know, healthcare means a great deal to me and is one of my passions. Many of you have heard me say, I believe I am here today because of early, effective, and frequent healthcare, and I believe that everyone should have that kind of access. In fact, Congressman Doggett, he pointed out the discussion of the lawsuit that our Attorney General has brought to do away with pre-existing condition. Let me just tell y'all, when he did that, the governor made a comment that, well, what we need to do is we need to have a Texas law that allows for pre-existing condition. So I just filed a bill to do just that. Our friend Larry Wallce has spent the past 35 years working to provide access to health care to underserved populations. Larry's personal experiences growing up in and around poverty in western Pennsylvania forged his passion for helping those in need. Larry views health care as a basic human right, and Central Health's mission as vital to ensuring a healthy Travis County community. Larry has served the residents of Travis County as a quiet and modest public servant since the creation of our healthcare district nearly 15 years ago. The leadership he provides his colleagues and the trust he has built in the community has helped to propel Central Health's mission and ensure thousands of residents are able to access essential healthcare services. He's humble, he's soft-spoken, but he is relentless in his effort to assure equitable health care for everyone. One of his signature achievements has been the creation of the East Travis County Coalition, a collaboration of more than a dozen local organizations to identify needs and improve access to essential health and human services for residents of suburban and rural eastern Travis County. He is a true public servant because people are in his heart. It is my great pleasure to introduce to you the recipient of this year's Kirk P. Watson Public Service Award, Mr. Larry Wallce of Central Health. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. I'm told I could use the middle mic. You can understand better.
Go do that.
So, thank you.
Step over there.
I will. Thank you. I'm going to move over to this mic. I'm told you can hear better. Thank you very much. Is this better? Yeah. Okay. When Senator called me a couple weeks ago on a Sunday afternoon, and I saw his caller ID, and it said Senator Kurt Watson, I immediately, my mind went in a million different directions. First of all, I was like, what did I do wrong? I must be in trouble. Senator is calling me on a Sunday afternoon. And then my thought was, well, he must be looking for my son, Larry Wallce Jr., who is city council person at Manor. So I thought it was a political conversation. And when we began talking, and it was clear he had the right person, then I was really interested in what he had to say. And I must say, he said some very kind words, and at the end of all of it, I was speechless. And my words to him is, I'm blown away because of your words, your comments, and the recognition. I am so proud to stand here and represent Central Health and this community. I'm proud to serve in a community where Travis County, the city of Austin, we come together and we solve problems that are created at the federal level. We use our resources, we use our energy to close the gap because no one should be left behind. And so that's what we do. And I want to acknowledge really everybody in the room. Speaker, thank you for being here. We were with you some time ago, and we really appreciate the work that you do. My Senator Watson, he's been with us from the beginning. Central Health would not be Central Health without him. I want to acknowledge, yes, let's acknowledge him. I would also want to acknowledge the Central Health Board, that original board that was led by Clark Heydrich, and a whole list of other people that when we first got started almost 15 years ago, held it together for us. And now even our existing Central Health Board members, we want to acknowledge you because you're the ones that give us the platform to do the work. I came from very humble beginnings, and I believe that the national narrative that we hear lacks compassion, and that's very concerning. I think people should be forced to walk in the shoes of other people if they're going to represent and make rules that impact them. healthcare is not something, it's not a commodity. Healthcare is really a basic need. And what we should do is really continue what the example that we have here in Travis County. And we don't take no for an answer. We have support, and we utilize that support. I want to thank my wife for 25 years, Sabrina, for allowing me to do this work. If you work in public service, you know that it's a sacrifice. And without her being my support, I could not do what I do and be what I am. So thank you again, Sabrina, for all of your support. I thank our Central Health family. We have several that are here, and our purpose is all about health care, and that is really what we do. So I'm very proud to receive this reward. Senator, thank you very much, and God bless all of you. Thank you.